Lee Jones here from Hotspawn, and I'm joined by paTiTek after the VCT EMEA Kickoff finals.
Hello.
And I guess, yeah, hello, and obviously commiserations following the loss. I know it's obviously, immediately afterwards. I imagine it's, still really disappointing, but kind of how proud are you to be able to, at least even to have gotten to this stage? Because, before the season had started, Team Liquid were basically written off by everybody else before a single map was played. So, even though it's still obviously tough right now, are you still able to kind of look at it in that way and, yeah, and be proud to have at least achieved second place?
Yeah, of course. I mean, everyone was putting us in the D tier list, People that make this tier list are kind of. I mean, it's the second year in a row where they put my team and the team that I'm playing in D tier. Last year it was Heretics, and the same shit happened basically that happened right now, right? In Liquid. But going back to the question about being proud, I'm extremely proud of the boys and of myself actually as well, because. I mean, we did an insane job, right? Coming from the lower bracket all the way up to the grand final. I think you need to have a resilience for that. And I think you need to have players that will uphold certain standards, even though that you might face a game, for example, that foot game that we lost 2-0. I think that game we learned a lot. And I think from that game onwards, we are just getting better with each and every best of 3 that we played. But yeah, I mean, it sucks to lose, right? My second place course is still coming from Heretics as well. But what can you do, right? Today we got reverse sweep, but I'm looking at it in a way that it's good that we lost right now because we have a lot of VOD material, we have a lot of things to learn, a lot of things to fix. So I rather have it to be losing and getting reverse sweep in Kickoff rather than in Bangkok, right? And for me, I mean, obviously it sucks, right, to lose, but yeah, we're just gonna learn, and this loss is gonna make us even better for Bangkok. So I'm looking forward to the next tournament.
In today's game, then, so obviously the first two maps, you guys were pretty dominant. I know in the first one they sort of turned it around a little bit, but you kind of held it out. So what do you think it was about those two maps where you guys came out swinging? Why were you playing so well at that point, do you think?
I think it was just our good maps, I mean, we are confident on Split and Heaven, right? I mean, actually, we're confident on every map that we played in a best of 5. I think the veto was in our favor, but I think those two maps, I think we just approached it in a different way than the later maps. I think we just went with the super confidence, but not overly confident, right? Being calm and collected, as my coach likes to say. And yeah, that's why it looked like we were in full control up until the third map. So yeah.
What do you think happened then? What was the turning point, do you think, where Vitality were able to come back?
I think the turning point was Lotus, because this is the map that we don't play, and the comp that we are playing right now, because we kind of prepared it, right? But we fully winged it in a way. So it's easy to manipulate the rotations and base gameplay on Lotus with the comp they had against our comp, Yeah, it worked on Heretics because it was just a surprise factor, I would say, against Heretics. But they did the VOD review, they prepared for the Lotus, and I think Lotus gave them confidence because they just steamrolled us, basically, and that gave them the confidence to go into the fourth and the fifth map.
Just kind of going back then, looking at the run itself, really. So, I mean, the record you guys had of knocking out 5 teams is like pretty insane. That's like almost half the league single-handedly.
Yeah.
It literally would have been half if you'd have won today. And obviously the final one was Heretics then yesterday. Was it a bit bittersweet? Because obviously it's still the same 5-man roster that you were working with last year. So what was it like, that experience of knocking them out?
Yeah, it was bittersweet because in my perfect world, I wanted them to qualify, beating Vitality, and then we beat Vitality until our final, and we are both in Bangkok, right? But unfortunately, we are not living in a perfect world, and someone had to qualify, right? I mean, I think they have their own problems, which they are struggling with. The fact that they were sick from the beginning of the kickoff, and they had no time to scrim. So I think that played a huge role into our game against them. We're more warmed up on stage because we came all the way from the lower bracket. We had a lot of games on stage where they just had 2 games, I think, coming up against us. But yeah, I mean, it was bittersweet, but for me, it gave me super confidence because I wanted to prove to them that even though I'm not playing with them, I'm still a good player. A player of a caliber that is making teams qualify to international events. And I think by joining Liquid and qualifying to Bangkok, I think I proved that. That I can confidently say that I'm the main factor of teams qualifying to international events.
Sure. Well, let's talk about that then. So yeah, Bangkok coming up pretty soon now. Then, who is it? Who in particular are you looking forward to playing?
G2. I think they showed a really great level of Valorant in the VCT Americas, and I faced them in Shanghai 3 times actually in one tournament, where 2 times we lost a best of 3, and then the last best of 5 that we played against them, we smashed them 3-0, right? But I think that they swapped the duelist from IC to Jogemo. But I think that gives them a higher level approaching the style that they want to play. I think with IC they were a little bit held back in my opinion, but with Jogemo, a completely different caliber of a player, and I think they are the best team coming into Bangkok at this moment. So I really want to face them and see how we're gonna play against them. Is there gonna be a big difference between us, or is it gonna be actually really close? I think it's gonna be really close. Obviously, always, these games are decided by small factors, small margins. But I think it's gonna be close, and I really want to face them to see how it's gonna play out.
Sure. Well, do you think even just the game today kind of helps build confidence going into Bangkok as well? Because thinking at least in EMEA, Vitality is it's the super team everyone was hyped about, and they've been the best team. But today you were very, very close to 3-0 them really.
Yeah.
So does that kind of give you confidence going to Bangkok as well?
Yeah, it gives us a lot of confidence because, as you mentioned, right, Vitality is a super team. They were created to win championships, and the fact that we pulled a really good fight, in my opinion, against them, could have been a 3-0, could have been 3-1, could have been 3-2, could have been either way, right? Unfortunately, it went the worst way possible for us, that we lost the 3-2 being reverse swept, but it gives us a lot of confidence, in ourselves, and as I said earlier, going back to the first questions, a lot of time to fix the mistakes that we had in this best of 5, and a lot of time to reapproach certain things and certain, I don't know, maybe visions, maybe look at certain things from a different angle. But yeah, I mean, we are really confident, I would say, coming into Bangkok, especially after today's performance, right? Because it was not a 3-0 blowout by Vitality against us, right? They could have been winning 2-0 and finish on Lotus 13-6 or 7 that they finished, right? And it could have been a devastating loss for us. It still is, but we're gonna learn from it, And it's good that it happens now. The earlier, the better.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, maybe one more question then. I watched an interview you did. I think it was before the season started with Pedro Romero, and he asked you about your ranking of Team Liquid, and you said you guys were A tier at that point, not quite S tier. Having now, been a finalist in EMEA, going into Bangkok, what have you guys got to do at Bangkok for you to think you're S tier?
I think to make playoffs at least. I think for me playoffs is gonna put us at a level, because going back to the international events, when you make playoffs in international events, that's when teams go level higher, right? Mm-hmm. And for me to put us on last year, we need to make. We don't need to. We can, right? We don't need to do anything. We can make playoffs, and we'll try our best to make playoffs. But yeah, making playoffs is gonna put us on last year 100%.
Nice. Well, best of luck then, paTiTek. Thanks very much for the interview. Again, unlucky today, and yeah, good luck in Bangkok.
Yeah, thank you for the interview.
See ya.
See ya.